Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Really excited that you're here with me. And man, thank you so very much for all of the folks who hit the subscribe button and the like button, showing that you're liking the content that you're seeing here for crappie fishing. And I can't wait for the future videos of coming up when we start tournament fishing and when we start traveling across the country and we take you guys along with us and we film just what it takes to do a tournament day, and also the practice days and where we stay and where we sleep and where we get gas and food, and I'm just really excited about it. But today's video, I want to talk to you about putting line on these reels, and this is a spinning reel, and I get questions all the time. Matt, I have to fight the line on my reel all the time. And today's video, I'm going to show you how I put line on a spinning reel and how I have a successful day of fishing on the water, and I don't have hardly any issues or any issues at all. And we're going to take this line off and put it on this reel, and I'm going to show you how I get that done. All right, guys, one of the most challenging things in fishing, crappie fishing, and even tournament fishing is making sure that you manage your line on your reel so you don't have to worry about it throughout a day of fishing. And there's nothing worse than flipping that bail on that spinning reel and all your line comes off, or it comes off in a big nest and it makes a knot, and you've got to waste 20, 30 yards of line and you got to recut. So today's video is hopefully to be able to reduce that problem. So what I've got here is I've got my JT sharpening and woodworking spooling stool. So this is a really cool deal that one of our sponsors, JT Sharpening and Woodworking, built for me. It's a stool that holds these spools of line and it's on wheels. And I'm able to kick this around and slide it up underneath stuff for some great storage and such. And then I got, when you're putting line on a spinning reel, you want the spool to be on something flat, on the floor, or I wanted something just up off the floor, so I had my brother build this. And so this is really handy for putting line on a spinning reel. And so one of the first things that I do is you have to determine which way that the line has to come off the spool. So I grab the line and I pick it up like this, and then I just drop it and where it creates slack. I don't let go of the line, but I just drop my arm where it creates slack. And if it doesn't twist and it just goes limp, that's the way I need to take it off that spool. If it twists, I pick the whole spool up, flip it over, put it back down, and I take it off the opposite way. But I've already got it where it's coming off really nice. And then remember in my past videos, and if you didn't see the video, I talk about putting backing or having backing on your spinning reel. So we change line before every tournament, every day we go fishing. And so I'm only having to change the top 50, 75 to 100 yards, if that, maybe 50 to 75 yards of line. And so it cuts down on cost and also my time. So I've already tied the existing backing line off my reel to this new line. And as you notice, I don't have any of the line through any of the guides. And you don't want to put anything through the guides when you're putting line on a reel, because when it's going through the guides, it's going around in a circular motion, and that's creating memory. And that memory is those coils that you get. And so I do not put any of the line through any of the guides while putting line on my reel. You want to make sure that you hold your line up on the rod. So just like this. Now I crank with my left hand, so I have the line in my hand with some tension. So I want this line to come onto my reel with a little slight tension. And so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to now reel my line on, and I'm going to tell you, I fill my spool, and because you really can't get the most out of your reel, and especially the gear ratio, the line inches per turn, unless you have a full spool. And some of you guys may not like to have a full spool because of sometimes when it has a mess, it's a big mess, and you lose all that line. So after today's video, really hope that that will decrease and you'll save money in the long run. So like I was saying, and I get big spools of line, and as a tournament guy, we need to be able to fill our spools all the time throughout the tournament season, and we go through a lot of line. So and as you can see, I'm almost done here. And now I fish a lot of the 20 to 30 series reels or the 2000 to 3000 series reels. And I like the big spool capacities. And what that does is, of course, I'm able to hold more line. But when I make a cast, it really comes off the spool very nicely. So what I like to do is I got what I think is enough line on here. And there's a little keeper on the reel. And so I get that line in that keeper, and I get some scissors, and I trim that. So as you can see, that spool is completely full. And I'm not afraid of it. And as soon as I take this next step, and we complete the process of putting line on a spool, and you see how nice and even that line is on that reel, and it's completely full. And it's not past the beveled edge, so it's not just going to pop off. So the next step in this is I'm going to take this spool off my reel, and we're going to get ready to condition the line. And the line's been on the spool that you got from the store for a while, and so I take that spool off. Then I always put that top nut back on my reel so I don't lose it. And then we'll put this off to the side. And so the next step that I do with this is I then take this spool and I get just a container or a little Tupperware container, and I fill it with water, and I put this inside that container of water. It doesn't need to be hot, cold, just room temperature water. Stick that spool in that water for about 2 to 3 hours. No longer. Don't let it sit overnight, because it doesn't help the line. So about 2 to 3 hours. When you get done having that spool in the water for 2 to 3 hours, take a paper towel, dab it all dry. You're going to be able to take that line out of this little keeper. You're going to be able to hold that line this far from this spool, and it's not going to come off that spool unless you pull it off. And that's taming or managing the line or the monofilament on your spool. So guys, hopefully this tip today is going to make your day of fishing so much more fun, so much more relaxing, that you don't have to worry about this line. It's a little bit more prep work the day before you go fishing. It's a little bit more time, a few steps into it, but I promise you, you put in that work and getting your line prepared for your reels, you're going to have a great, successful day on the water. Guys, if you like the content on this of these videos that we're putting out, make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button and the notification bell. And that way you can get the future videos that we post or upload on this channel. Thanks so much for visiting Matt Tuttle Fishing. Hopefully these tips will put more fish in your bucket and in your boat.